Rooster podcast. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, John.
And we got our buddy Hank here today. Thanks for joining us, Hank.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Well, we finally got some of these up on the internet. They're on YouTube. So if you want to search them, I think just search Blue Rooster Podcast.
Or check us out on Facebook.
Or follow the Blue Rooster on Facebook, whatever you want to do. But
look for the blue cock.
That's right. And when you find that, you know you're at the right place. But we finally got everything situated for the most part. The sound quality will continue to improve, hopefully at least. Well, our friend here, Hank, he's a big music guy. He's into music. He's into playing music. He's into listening to music. He's into the vinyl and the equipment that goes into music listening, all that stuff. So we're going to get into it about music today with Hank. All right, Hank, you like to attend the music festivals, correct?
Yes.
And you've been to many, I would say, right?
Yeah, a whole bunch.
When did that start?
In diapers, as far as I know, like small bluegrass festivals. Like there's one I want to say in like Beaver County. I remember going to a lot as a kid.
So this was something that was sort of a family outing type thing to
Yes.
begin with?
Mm-hmm.
See, that is not like my family outings as a child. I can say that much. I don't even know if we had any family outings. Once in a while we got to go to Wendy's on a weekend. That was a big day. I remember they had the foil wrappers. That really excited me.
No Frosty.
No way. Just the burger and the fries. That's all you get. And that's a wild weekend. But that's pretty cool that you, as a youngster, were experiencing that whole vibe and such. Do you think that got into you? Like, just as a child, you think that spirit, like, got into you? Or something you'd think you'd have found without the influence, so to speak?
Well, I think I probably would have found it, had I not been going to them as just a kid. But it was kind of nice never really having to, like, search for them. It was just kind of always there. It was just something...
You got a nice little set of training wheels, festival wheels.
Yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. It's because it's a totally different ball game going as like a 6 or 7 year old and as like a teenager into an adult.
And what is it exactly about the whole festival experience that really just attracts you? I know it's not just one thing, but
I just love being. Usually it's in woods or just outside in general with music. It's nice having music going all night, waking up, and even if there isn't anybody on the stage, there's probably some form of a band jamming somewhere in the grounds.
Some people playing in a drum circle usually, even if it's 8 a.m. in the morning.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. That's great for sleeping. I really appreciate those people.
Well, it kind of helps though. It's almost like rain. It's like that constant sound.
Not the drums I heard.
Well, how about like, I've only been to one music festival, and you're the one that took me there. I had no idea what to expect, but I've seen some very weird shit. Like, what was that like when you were like 7, 8, 9, 10? Like, what did you think of that, or was that just the norm?
Yeah, was it weird to you, or was it just...
It definitely was, but it was kind of one of those things that or parents taught us is like, hey, people are here to enjoy themselves, and their definition of fun might not be the same as yours, so just...
To be free.
Yeah, just try not to judge. I mean, people are there just to enjoy themselves, and the whole point is to not worry about outside influences. It's like a escape, like in a retreat kind of.
That's a great little nugget to explain to your children. People here that have good. That's like perfect. Like if that's the message they gave you, I could have used that message the first time I went, and I was like,
yeah, you should have gave me a heads up. No, I was expecting weird shit. I wouldn't even say it was weird. It was just I had the idea what was gonna happen.
They're set up, at least the one we went to was set up so perfectly for the weekend you were to encounter. Like, if you go up there and just embrace everything about it, they make it like another world for you. And I appreciated that very much. Like, have you ever, and I have been to festivals where they've attracted some of like the bad crowd and like the shady individuals.
Yes.
And you always have that. Not always. It didn't seem like so much at the one we were at, but I've been to plenty where there's the people there clearly aren't there for the music. Now, did you ever experience any of that as a younger child? Like, very young? Or that's another thing you just don't notice?
Well, I mean, pretty much, especially whenever we were real young. I mean, you didn't really get to go off a ton on your own. I mean, there were some festivals where me and my brother kind of had free run of the place, other than like, you had to stay out of the woods. That was, pretty much the only rule. You can be wherever you want, just don't be in the woods.
Why? What goes on in the woods?
Well, that's where the people who
That's where I like to spend my time when I go.
I was gonna say because
Yeah.
that's where you took us.
that's where
Well,
we went.
We were adults.
Yeah, it's like a PG-13 area, and we were
That
definitely
is-
below 13 at the time.
That is the golden rule of a festival. Stay out of the woods unless you're going there on your own accord, and you have to. Because sometimes you do got to go to the woods
Oh
at the
yeah,
festival.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Can save your day.
It
That
really
is
can.
for sure.
John knows that firsthand.
I
He
took-
likes to take off.
Woods. Finally, with people I can relate to in the woods. What would be what would you consider maybe some of your favorite things about festivals aside from the live music, obviously?
Just the whole atmosphere is fun, especially where I took you guys. They've been doing festivals there for over 20 years.
What's the name of that one?
It's at the Great Blue Heron is their main festival, and we went to Night Lights.
Why do they call it Night Lights?
Well, they had a pretty impressive display of like LED lights throughout the woods. They had some trails. It was definitely like more of a visual experience than the Blue Heron is. It attracted kind of a younger crowd. The Blue Heron is definitely more geared towards families. I mean, it gets a young crowd as well, but they gear more towards the families, and the Night Lights is more for the the kids who grew up going to the Blue Heron but are ready to do something different.
Ready to get into the woods finally.
Yeah.
It was set up perfect. Basically like a small community for the weekend. There's like a little shakedown street where you got your vendors. Not a big one, but I would say, 10 to 12 booths, it seemed like. I'd say, I don't know, how many people were there? You think 500, 600?
The weather wasn't great. So
No, it was not.
I think they probably would have been lucky to do like 800. They've done it 2 times since. Well, one other time since, and then there'll be another one. The lineup announcements coming here within the next few weeks.
Lots of hospitality, I must say, for the people that showed up, and they really did it right.
You think there was only 800 people there?
It's hard to say because it was a very different setup than at the Blue Heron. It's more concentrated at the Blue Heron, so you just have a lot more people in a smaller area. And like where we were down where we camped. I honestly don't know if I'd ever been there like in my life before, and I'd been at that festival
It seemed like
multiple times.
there's a lot more people. The only people I seen more than once was the guy wearing the neon like road construction vest,
Oh yeah,
the wild dancer.
You think there were more than?
Yeah, I'd say
Really?
there's more than 800 people.
Wow.
I hope.
But I mean, I was heavily
Intoxicated.
among other things.
See, to me, it seemed like a couple hundred people, but maybe they all looked the same to me. I don't know. Or maybe it was when I kept making the same walk 50 times in a row, and I kept seeing the same 50 people trying to find a
I don't think
campsite.
I ever seen the same people. I mean, I was going to places where I didn't even know that were there. Like, there was that one place that looked like a tree house.
Yeah.
I was
The
like, where'd that
The
come
teepee.
from?
Yeah.
The TP.
The TP. I remember that large chair in the woods.
Oh yeah.
I
That was
saw
awesome.
that about 10 times on my lap home. But very interesting place, and I enjoyed it very much, and I would go back in a second. And there was nothing at that festival that really turned me off. Everyone seemed pretty cool, and everyone was there to have fun. They were there to watch the music. They weren't there for ulterior motives. Have you ever been, like, what's one of the least favorite things about a music festival for you?
Well, I was at one in Ohio, and the lineup was pretty cool. But I'd never been to the venue before, and I didn't really like it. For whatever reason, they had gravel in front of the stages. It was a really weird setup. So, like, it was kind of, you couldn't throw out a blanket or anything and just sit down. And there was a super big, like, police presence, which just, I mean, I don't know. To my knowledge, I don't think they really harassed that many people, but it was just kind of unsettling.
And
Seeing them
unnecessary, I
Yeah,
would
cruising
thank
think.
you.
around.
Well, that was something I wanted to ask you. Like, I mean, I don't know what kind of drugs you do, if any, but like, how from just my one experience, I had one experience, just the availability of party favors that would just come to you.
Oh,
Like, how's that? And I want to say legal, but like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't just walk up to people and be like, "Hey, like, open up your trench coat. Here, I have A, B, C, D. Over here, I got."
Yeah. How do they know who to do that to?
it's weird. Like the whole, it's kind of a strange dynamic. Like the whole community operates on a general sense of trust. Like, you know, nobody's here to screw anybody, and unfortunately, it's not always like that. I try to go to smaller festivals for the main reason that, like, I don't. It just it keeps a lot of the scene away, and the scene is like the bad part. You know, like I the people who are there just to say they could say they were there and
Right.
whatnot, who could care less about the music, and it's just about the party. I try to
avoid that.
limit like my exposure to that stuff. So I usually stick to the smaller festivals, and they cost so much freaking money. It's just a whole lot easier. I mean, like the marquee festivals, you're spending probably $250 just for like a 4-day pass, and then, you know, your costs once you're inside are just astronomical.
And avoid or walk away when the guy goes, "Hello, good sir. I would like to purchase some narcotics from
Yeah,
you."
that's usually a pretty good
Stay away
pretty
from that
good thing.
guy.
Although there were state police inside the Blue Heron this past summer, and it was really freaking weird. They were cruising around on like mountain bikes,
Really?
basically, like just in the main area. Like I didn't see them in the woods, but it was kind of disconcerting. Like
That
seeing
is
that.
unsettling. It just, even if you're not doing anything wrong, it's just not the right place for that.
Yeah,
It puts on a weird vibe. And gravel in front of the stage, yeah, what's that all about? It's not very welcoming.
no, I didn't. But that was kind of a weird festival. I don't think. I mean, there were other circumstances for sure, but I did not spend, I think, more than like 4 songs down by the stage. Granted, like we could hear perfectly from our campsite, so we pretty much stayed at the campsite for the entire weekend. That's not a normal occurrence. Usually, I like to be down by the stage and whatnot, but yeah, with that gravel and some other factors, it just we were definitely staying up at our spot.
What are some of the craziest things you've seen at a festival? Be it people, an event,
Oh man.
an incident, maybe I doubt you've seen a fight or anything like that at a festival, but you've had to have seen some whacked out people, I would imagine.
Whacked out people for sure. One person that kind of comes to mind, I've seen with the Blue Heron. He's kind of a tall dude, and he has a shaved head, and it's kind of like an oval almost, like his head. It's so I mean it's shaped well for it. What
Are
it
you
does-
talking about me?
No, I could be. His it's a little longer, but he like had this hollowed out watermelon that he just wore around for the entire weekend. And I think he had like a feather or something that hung off of it to attract the flies away from the watermelon. Like I don't know, but it was weird. Like that's one that kind of sticks out.
Yeah, I remember Neil. I remember Neil.
there was a girl at the same festival who had like fairy wings and just X's taped over her nipples. So, I mean, I don't know, people.
People let their freak flag fly.
Yeah, and I mean, some people I think do it just to try to be the weirdest person there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of felt about the guy in the construction.
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I think it's like, oh, look at me, look how fucking crazy I am.
How well do you think I did for my first festival? Did I act
You
too much
guys
like an
survived.
asshole, or
No, I mean it's all about survival at a music festival, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like one of the cardinal, and I mean you guys were there for one night, so you didn't really have to worry about it. But you have to remember that it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. Like you're there for anywhere from like 2 to 4 days, and if you absolutely get destroyed one night, you're gonna have to deal with it.
right?
And you know, depending whether it's the middle of summer, I mean, you might be sitting outside in 90-degree, you know, blistering sun. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
So that's what we did wrong. Even though we were just there for one day,
Went
I
pretty
think
hard.
we showed up drunk. I mean, we drove the whole way up
We had
to
to
New
make
York,
up for the day we missed, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we had
Yeah.
nothing to lose at that point.
mixing Bloody Marys the whole way up there.
Yeah, stopping at
Yeah, Lake Erie.
some crazy
Yeah, we got lost in Lake
gas
Erie.
stations. Now, and you also did well, Andrew, because you were pretty friendly, I believe. You weren't causing a ruckus of any sort,
No, I mean,
which you like to do when you're around strangers. But there
Yeah.
wasn't too much of that.
No, I'm
Well, I was
sure.
feeling it. I was feeling it.
You feeling
I had
the
a
good
blast.
vibes?
Of it. I think that was that will go down as one of the funnest days of my life.
It was everything. It lived up to everything it should have been. It was excellent.
It was the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be.
But it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it's always a fun time up there.
Do you ever seen any like crazy incidents at a festival or crazy rituals?
Well, actually, yeah, my first Delfest. I missed the very first Delfest, so it was like Delfest number 2. I camped, and Sam Bush came on stage, and like I had been kind of sleeping.
Excuse me. Everybody knows who Sam Bush is. I mean, everybody here does, but in case anybody doesn't, who's
Sam Bush is a great mandolin and fiddle player. Delfest is for Del McCoury, so it's pretty much all bluegrass music.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so Sam Bush, he kind of broke in with Newgrass Revival, and then got a solo career after that, and it's kind of like one of the main dudes. So like I was kind of sleeping at the one. It was like a shaded area. It's like it's an awesome setup. It's at an old dirt racetrack, so I was in like the grandstands, and you can hear the main stage perfectly. I mean, you can't see it all that well, but you know, and a few years later they put up some screens, so you actually could see. But I was sleeping there, and I hear Sam Bush. I'm like, oh shit! So I ran back to my campsite. I had to take care of some business in the porta potty, and as I get in there, like the storm starts out of nowhere. Really,
the weather storm or the internal storm?
Weather storm.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, like the business is taken care of in the porta potty, but I don't feel like getting out because it's raining cats and dogs. And I'm like, all right, well, this is not a pleasant situation anymore, so it's time to just run. So like I get to my tent, and it's going crazy. So I said, screw this, I'm just gonna sit in the car, you know. And after a while, like I thought I was gonna lose my tent, and this was like day 2 of the festival or something. You know, I still had 2 more days. So it's like, fuck this, I gotta go in the tent and like make sure it doesn't get blown away with this wind. And then it proceeded to start hailing, like once I got inside the tent. So like I'm just like trying to take up as much space as I can, like holding my tent down, getting pelted with hail. And then after maybe like 20 minutes or something like that, it was over. I guess a tornado had touched down around there. There was just a crazy freak storm. Yes, that was probably the craziest thing.
Did Sam Bush stop?
Yeah, he only played like a 40-minute set. He did stop at some point, but like it got pretty crazy. I had a friend who had like VIP tickets, so he was down right in front of the stage, and he actually like rode most of the storm out underneath the stage. Yeah, it was crazy. It was one of the strangest things I've ever seen, you know, in a music event.
How about the craziest substance you've been offered at a
Well,
music festival?
Offered,
Or seen
I mean, as far as just
influence.
crazy, like straight stupid, why do you do that? It would have to be nitrous.
In a big tank.
Yeah, and it was funny because like growing up, there would always be these signs. It was like the Grateful Dead bear, and the dancing bear, and he was holding balloons, and there would be like an arrow, and then you could usually see a trail of discarded, you know, punching bag things, and that was the nitrous dude. I mean, it's not really like that anymore, for a lot of good reasons, but that's the one where it's just like kind of, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, that'll get you that stuff.
Yeah.
For being invisible.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what it can do to you.
But I mean, for the most part, it's just that girl named Molly and
Oh yeah.
and doses. That's all you ever hear. You walk down the main path. It's just people looking for
Walking down
Molly and
Shakedown.
doses.
Is that the
Street.
biggest drug there? Is that what everybody tends to go to?
Yeah, I mean it's usually hallucinogens. It's gotten to a point where like you do not want to go to a festival expecting to be able to buy pot, because I guess the money isn't there anymore. Like it's in everything else. So like There was a few where luckily
No market.
came prepared, because otherwise I wouldn't have found a thing. And that was always one of my favorite things, being able to buy like different strains I normally wouldn't find and whatnot. But
It's going out of style.
yeah, well, the money's in the hard shit.
And then it's gonna be legal, and then no one's gonna have it except for personal. What is about as far as, since you're such a, I would call you a veteran of the festival scene, how about some tips for beginners or people who've been plenty of times who just, like people like Craig, like what to do to be prepared as far as like anything from camping, what not to forget,
Okay.
and what to expect, like.
I mean, the first like overall behavior rule is just remember that it is a marathon. You're not just there for one night. As far as what you bring, you need to be prepared for like all types of weather, because I've spent some weekends, 4th of July weekend in New York, that felt like it could have been, November. So you always got to be prepared for any type of weather, and have lots of water. It's one of those deals where it's not a problem to come home with a case, but you never want to run out while you're up there.
I like that one.
Now, if you find a festival you want to go to, can't you go on the website and they will tell you rules?
Oh yeah, almost all of them like post their rules, and it's usually like the standard, like no glass bottles, obviously no weapons, no drugs, no nitrous, no dogs usually. Even though I've never been to a festival and not seen dogs,
I've seen a couple dogs.
They always say no dogs, even if it's not service dogs. Yeah.
You want to see helicopters? I'll show you helicopters. Now, what's this? Does this have anything to do with the festival? But I've heard this plenty of times by plenty of jam bands, and I think Fish even has a lyric about whatever you do, take care of your shoes or feet or feet. Is that?
That's a military thing, isn't it?
Well, I think it stems from the military, but
Vietnam.
It's just overall good advice, because that actually, the festival that you guys came to, and actually the one this year, the same festival, Nightlights, ended up dealing with some wet socks, and it became a problem. Like the boots I had this year just sucked, and I didn't realize it was going to be as much of a problem as it was. And luckily I had like 6 pairs of socks, because I had to change them a few times.
Plus you got a high sandal to feet ratio at those things.
Oh yeah.
So they're probably little words of advice, but that's a pretty good one, I think. But we can move off the festival talk, unless you have any closing comments.
A few things. If you could go to any festival, like nationwide or even across the pond, is there one that you would love to go to?
The Lockin' Festival in Virginia.
Lockin's that's a European festival, right?
No,
that's in West Virginia.
Virginia.
That's in Virginia.
It's only like
Lockin'.
It's not crazy far away. It's something like 4 hours from here. As far as lineups, every year it seems to have the best. This last year was like ridiculous.
I just thought that was a European festival.
No, there might be an interlocking. I don't know. I think the first year they started calling it interlocking, but they had to change it to just locking. So
cool.
Yeah, that would be it. One of these days.
That's a big one, though, right?
Yeah, it's huge. Like it's to the point where I don't know how much I'd be able to enjoy myself. I start getting anxiety in like crazy big crowds, and that's probably like 30,000 plus people.
So that would be my next question. What about like Burning Man? Is that something you'd be into? At least once?
Yeah, I mean to experience it would be cool, but I just don't, if I'm like rattling off my list of things that I want to do, like that's not too high on it.
Burning Man. I don't even think that's
it looks like fun, but I think I could do it like that goes like for like a week or something. I could probably do it in like.
And that's not even
2
really
days.
a mainly music thing, is it?
That's
Isn't
more
that
art.
just a bunch of things?
Yeah, it's like art. It's I don't know.
I thought it was both, but I could be wrong. I've never been there.
Oh, there's music for sure, but it's not like a music festival. I don't think so much. I think it's more just
it's DJs.
Yeah, it's like its own thing.
I would like to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Dude, there's a documentary on that on YouTube.
Is there?
It's really it's interesting.
I don't know that I'd want to go, but I'd want to watch that documentary.
It's interesting. I'll have to find it.
I don't know. I think that's something you might have to experience.
It's like an hour long.
The documentary,
yeah.
I've heard crazy things about that. That.
But it's like $800 to get in there.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Now, do the people like paint their faces up?
Yeah, it is. You know them. You know the juggalos. You
Yeah.
know the people that. It's that everywhere.
Wow.
That's something I'd have to go to sober. I don't think I would want to.
Oh no, you got to be on your toes for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could get dangerous. I
Yeah.
would think. I heard. I swear that they like pay the cops, or they do something where the cops can't come on that property or something. I thought.
Well, if
Could
it's
be private property, yeah.
I read something along those lines, and I heard some wild stories. I can't remember them at the moment, but listen to some podcasts.
You'll
about
see
people
some
who
of them
perform
girls with the wings and the taped nipples,
Mhm.
but they're over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
there. Lady jugs. Any more for that particular topic, Andy?
I'm out.
All right, Hank. We'll move along to when you were a little baby festival head, and like you were saying, you grew up with a family who would attend the festivals and such. What was it like growing up? Would you consider your dad a deadhead?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like having a dad as a deadhead?
It was pretty cool. My dad plays bass, and our house was usually the place that the bands would practice. So it's just one of those really cool memories as a kid, like, you know, trying to go to sleep and you're hearing like, I don't know, like
Sugar
Domino or like Werewolves of London or like, you know, some Grateful Dead tune coming from the basement. And it was, I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I could see that being very soothing.
Yeah. And it just, music was always, you know, an option pretty much for us, like from the start, you know.
Did he go to dead shows as a young lad?
Well, I don't know how young. I do know he went to a bunch.
He has been to a bunch of dead
Oh
shows.
yeah, he was a teacher, so you know he would have summers off, and him and my uncle Vince would go see a bunch of shows in the summer. You know, not like for like a week or something like that, catch a few. Yeah, it was something he did a lot. It's unfortunately something I'll never get to do, but
You never went to like an original lineup, not original, being a Jerry Grateful Dead concert.
never got to see Jerry. The story goes that the first year we went to the Blue Heron, you know, we had our choice of whether we wanted to go to the Blue Heron or see the Grateful Dead, and I think it was going to be at Deer Creek. This was 1995, and me and my brother had been to a lot of festivals that only happened for like 1 year, and then that was it. Like, you know, they'd lose all kinds of money and never do it again. So we figured we would go at the festival just to be safe because, you know, the Dead would be around forever. And that was in like 4th of July weekend, and then Jerry died, you know, in August. Now, whether it would have been approved by both sets of parents to actually go to the Grateful Dead concert remains to be seen. But
there were like summer trips planned around shows as a kid.
well, for my dad and my uncle, like not really for us. Like we would
Okay.
just go to festivals,
I see.
you know, and that would just be like a weekend camping thing, and then that'd be that.
Understood. If you had to take a wild guess on the number of just not festivals but just shows in general, you think you're upwards of 1,000?
No, this is one of those things where I really wish like I would have kept more records of the shows I've been to, at least as an adult. I mean, obviously, I can't.
Keep your stubs.
I do now, and unfortunately there was a lot of times where I didn't keep stubs for whatever reason, but yeah, that's something I always save now. But I really wish I had a list. Like now, I actually like make like a Word document where I just put down the concerts I saw on the date.
Good idea.
You know, just so I keep track because I don't know. I want to make sure I see like at least like 15 shows a year until I can't. Just because I don't know. Live music is like people have church in many different places, and for me, it's that's one of them.
That would be a good thing to do. Just document every show you've been at, and even write a little blurb about it. It's like we could write Nightlights, got lost, ended up in a teepee, saw a couple bands. Andrew, yours could say ended up backstage.
Yeah.
Twice.
Tiger Woods was there.
Yes, Tiger Woods was there.
Of all those shows you've been to, Nate, does any one in particular stick out for music or atmosphere or any of those reasons?
I mean, being that there's been a few hundred, there are definitely a few that stick out. One of them, you were there, John, was Fish 2003 at Star Lake.
That
And
was
like I was a big Fish fan, and that was the first time I saw him. and that's kind of regarded as one of their best shows of that tour. So we just got really lucky with an amazing show and some amazing pre-gaming
I
before
believe
it.
that was my first show too of theirs. And,
Yeah.
What a starter! It
Yeah.
was perfect.
I'll never forget like when they closed the first set with Golgi Apparatus, and like they panned a floodlight over the audience, and it was just like 30,000 people like bouncing,
Yes,
like
I do.
a wave.
I do remember that
It's like
specifically. The feeling of being part of like a wave.
Yeah, it's like an organism almost.
Yeah,
it was
crazy.
unreal. It's like one of the most surreal moments of my life. Yeah, definitely that Fish show. I would have to say I got to see like 2 symphonic type deals. One with Trey Anastasio from Fish, and then one with Warren Haynes doing like Jerry Garcia's stuff. And those were really cool. Just being at like Heinz Hall and seeing, an orchestra backing like an amazing guitar player and like a band. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I would say I have to say those 3 kind of stick out the most. But yeah, there's a bunch I could talk about concerts for ages.
How about any guilty pleasure bands or songs?
One, I don't know how much this can even qualify as a guilty pleasure because it's Led Zeppelin, but it's In Through the Outdoor, just because people talk shit on In Through the Outdoor, and I don't know, I dig it.
I'm looking more for like Cyndi Lauper here.
Okay.
But I get what you mean because I agree.
Yeah.
Like Into the Outdoor.
Maybe that's just me giving a pitch for In Through the Outdoor, saying it's not as bad as people say. But guilty pleasure.
What about you, Andrew?
I think every song I own is a guilty pleasure. I won't
you
let
have some good
anybody see
taste.
my playlist.
That's one I maybe should
My
have gave
my
you in
one
advance.
biggest one
Yeah.
is B-52s.
I don't even consider that a guilty
Yeah.
pleasure, though.
No,
I
you
really
don't
dig
either.
See,
it.
No.
that's something that I would not admit to anybody, but I love them.
Yeah, I don't see that as a guilty pleasure.
Oh no, they're
No.
a fantastic band. That's kind of a tough one. I don't know. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to music. It's not even like but it's like my own definition. Maybe I should just say I'm very particular. I don't know. I mean,
We
to
don't
me,
need a
it's
solid answer. You can
Rat?
think on it.
Yeah.
Rat would be a guilty pleasure, I think. I would consider Rat a guilty pleasure.
You're a fan of Rat?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah,
but
but
if
Rat
someone
would.
said,
Oh yeah, Rat would absolutely be a guilty pleasure.
same with Twisted Sister. Like if someone told me they liked Twisted Sister, I would.
It's kind of shake
Want
your
to
head.
talk to them again?
I would think about it.
It
That's for sure.
would cross my mind.
Yeah.
Depends who they are in other aspects of life, but.
They'd have to really make up for it in other areas.
All right. One of my guilty pleasures is having a little bit of wine every now and then. But I shouldn't feel guilty about that. I'm allowed to have some wine. But Hank, you do not drink alcohol, correct?
That is correct.
And how long have you not drank alcohol?
Actually, in 5 weeks it'll be 9 years.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I did the math, and I think, like, at this point, I've been not drinking longer than I was drinking, which is,
Wow.
yeah, it's just pretty weird thinking about it. I mean, I guess it just means I'm getting older, and I had a lot of time in whenever I was young, but yeah.
You remember the last drink you had, like what it was?
Well, it was a kind of a weird night because there were other things involved, some mushrooms involved, and it was kind of just a crazy period in my life, and I would have what I would say was like a nervous breakdown, and I was like, holy shit, like my life's spiraling out of control, and I need to do something about this. So that was it. Like that night, like, I mean, at least I stopped with drinking. Unfortunately, I didn't quite do what I needed to do with everything else. So like that kind of continued for a little bit, but everything came to a very abrupt halt just a few weeks after, really not even 2. I think it was like March 11th or something like that. And yeah, I ended up overdosing, and thank God I did it in the living room where my roommates saw me, and I recovered, and yeah, it's been almost 9 years now.
So when you've decided I'm not drinking anymore, you never had like one more?
No, I have not
That's
had a drop.
insane.
I mean, there was I kind of had some training wheels there at first. I took a medication that if I had any any alcohol or like an opioid, my
Makes you
system
sick.
would react
Yeah,
very
I've heard of
violently,
that.
and I kind of like withdraw instantly. So yeah, I kind of kept that as like training wheels for a few years because after a while my attitude was like, well, if it's not broke, like why bother fixing it, you know? But then after a while I just kind of got tired of that because you were like actually reliant on that medication, like your body would withdraw
It's just
if I
a
stopped.
substitute.
Yeah. So I well, it's not like a Suboxone type of substitute, but it was
Start with the B.
it
I've heard of it. I know.
no,
What
it's
it is.
naltrexone. I
Oh,
took it.
that's what it was.
Mine was like a generic. I'm not sure what the
Okay.
the actual the name brand was, but yeah, it wasn't like a morphine or like a Suboxone where like you already had the withdrawal to
Take that.
to take it. Yeah, because as soon as like a trace of it showed up, it would pretty much make your body withdraw it immediately. But it was just for me, I didn't like being reliant on a pill. So yeah, I ended up getting off that after I want to say like 6 years or something like that.
Now, you said when you decided to quit drinking and you were eating mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the mushrooms had anything to do with you making that decision?
Well, I'm sure I had. It was just a very crazy time in my life. Like I was in a really really serious car accident a few months beforehand. Like a really good friend of mine was driving. He died instantly. I don't know how, but like for whatever reason, before we wrecked, I put my seatbelt on, which was weird because I was blackout drunk, and it's like the last thing you would think to do. But for some reason I did, and I was very lucky. But there was. I don't know. I didn't deal with it all that well. I mean, they said it was like post-traumatic stress disorder or like survivor's guilt or whatever. But and on top of that, I ended up having a pretty large settlement from the insurance company to where like I made sure because I didn't impact my friend's family at all. It was pretty much because I couldn't get money for my hospital bills. This was supposed to be set up for me down the road, so if I had some complications, there would be some money there to take care of it. Unfortunately, I just kind of spent the money like it was going out of style.
Is that all gone?
Well,
Are there any traces of that?
there are some traces of that money left. I mean, $30,000 did just kind of disappear in a 3-month span, whether it be like up my nose or smoked or drank. But yeah, I mean, I bought a car. I bought a guitar, a really sweet amp, a Mesa Boogie Tube amp, a great acoustic guitar. I actually had a really nice sound system, and the receiver kind of finally just went. But I still have that. So there are a few remnants of that. But yeah, for the most part, it was an absolute catastrophe. Yeah, so I don't know. Back to where we were. Like I said, it was just kind of a crazy time frame. So I don't know.
So you didn't. It wasn't after. Whenever you quit drinking, you were still doing other things.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought once you quit drinking, you quit everything.
No. Part of the thing, like I was ready to take a baby step towards doing something, but there were some rather large hurdles I didn't want to take. I had. I mean, drinking had gotten like pretty out of hand, but a lot of other things did too. Like a lot of Percocet, like Perc 30s. I was going through like 10 a day. It was like $200. Just I don't know, like those mushrooms. Like I bought a quarter pound. It was like a mistake with a miscommunication with my dude. He got.
I want a pound. What was the communication here?
Well, no, I wanted to get a quarter pound of some Headies and an ounce of mushrooms, and he took that as a quarter pound of mushrooms and an ounce of Headies. So I met up with him, and I was like,
I'll take it.
Fuck it, yeah. Like what else? Like why not?
It's about to be a weekend.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I didn't go out of my way to get rid of them. So there was a lot eaten over a period of time. So my brain was kind of like jelly. And yeah, at one point it just kind of snapped. I was like, something needs to change. But like I said, I didn't get the message the whole way. And then, I don't know,
But you're happier now, I would imagine. Things going better.
oh, yeah,
No more
100%.
No more breakdowns.
No. Well, I mean, it was like kind of like the rock bottom before rock bottom, but, at least it happened. And, at this point I'm on the way back up. And yeah, things are going great.
Now, is it like difficult for you to not drink when you're out and you see people drinking, or is it just not interested?
It kind of depends. It's
You're
different all the
probably
time.
used to it by now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that
But I mean, is it difficult? Like, you're like, man, I could really use a drink.
sometimes,
Mhm.
absolutely. I mean, just stupid things like I missed the taste of it. Like there was nothing like a nice glass of good whiskey or like a good like IPA. Like
And you really missed the beer boom.
yeah, I really did. And it's like I came from a family of beer snobs. So like I got exposed to like good craft beer as soon as I was getting sips from people. It wasn't usually Budweiser. It was like Yards or Victory or something. Something. And yeah, like it was not hard to find it, but you had to you had to know where to go. Whereas like now you can't. You can't help but find like an IPA somewhere or like a craft beer. So, but I mean, honestly, it's probably a good thing to tell you the truth that I missed that wave.
Do you like, I don't know, because personally, like, I'll be sitting at home, and if it's Thursday night and I know tomorrow's Friday, like, I just get that itch to have a drink before bed. Like, do you ever get that? Or is that just you over that?
Well, I mean, the urge will come. I said it's weird. It's like addiction's a funny disease. It kind of tries to trick you almost. So like there'll be times where I don't know if it's like seriously like me thinking this or like the addiction part saying like you're a totally different person than you were 9 years ago. Like it's because I am. I definitely am. So it's like, oh, you could definitely handle it. It's no problem. It's a totally different set of circumstances. You'll be fine. But
Why take that chance?
exactly, it's like a zero risk, like or
Zero
zero
reward.
reward, maximum risk type of deal, and it's just like it's not worth it. Now I actually have something to lose. Like before, I went like I didn't have anything to lose because I really didn't.
But did you, like, actually have, like, alcoholism? Like, the actual disease, like, where you are addicted to alcohol? Or you just think it was just turning your life in a bad direction?
Well, here's like kind of the weird thing, and it's kind of like for the longest time where I didn't call myself an alcoholic is because I associated being an alcoholic with having the physical need to where like you would have the shakes and whatnot, like
Yeah,
if you
that's what I'm
didn't
talking
drink.
about.
All that really is it's just a really advanced thing. I mean, like for me, when everything like finally clicked for me, as like I was in inpatient rehab. It was like right after I overdosed. I went straight from, as soon as I was stabilized and whatnot, I went straight to inpatient.
By choice, or is
Oh
that
yeah, by
mandatory?
choice. And luckily, it kind of was by choice because I think they were going to try to keep me in there for a really long time, and because I went in myself, I could sign myself out. Whereas if I would have refused, I know I would have been 302. Like my family would have done it, and then I would have been in until they said, you're ready to go.
The inpatient's where you're staying there 24/7.
Yeah, you're living there. And I was at an AA class there, and the lady said, alcoholism isn't really about how much you drink, or like how many days a week you drink. It's all about how you drink. And she said the analogy she used was not being able to enjoy yourself if you're trying to control the amount you were drinking, but not be able to control yourself if you were like or I forget how it went. You're a fucking alcoholic friend. But it's kind of like whenever you're watching yourself, you can't enjoy yourself, but if you're enjoying yourself, like things go like out of control. And for me, that kind of hit home.
Mm-hmm.
Am I an alcoholic?
You asking me?
I'm asking you. Am I?
I don't know.
Is that-
I don't never went to rehab. They would know. Nate, you would know.
I
Because I
Better
don't
than
drink a lot, but whenever I do drink, I mean, I
Well, I mean, binge drinking and alcoholism, I think, are two different things. I think one can lead to the other, but I don't consider them like the same thing. I mean, honestly, I would say 90% of people who drink do it to get fucked up in some sense.
That's
you know, I mean,
the reason I do it.
Yeah.
I don't drink like at dinner. I can't do that. I can't have 1 or 2 beers.
so I mean,
Like on a Thursday night at home, you won't have anything. Just
No.
okay.
If you see me and I'm drinking, I'm
Out.
going for the night.
You never drink at home, really, if
No.
no one's there. Okay. Well, I guess I'm one. No, but I can have a drink at night before bed, just to get ready for bed.
it's a murky thing. I mean, it's not like there's a set definition. I mean, I know for me, like, alcohol was a serious problem in my life, and there's just a history of it in my family, on like both sides, so it kind of made sense to me, and I mean, it took a while because I associated like, oh, if I'm not shaking when I'm not drinking, like I'm good to go, but I don't know. I mean, for me, like it definitely became an issue, and I luckily was able to cut it out.
Is there something that you notice, like, very often about drunk people, I guess? Like, that they probably don't realize? Not specific people, but just in general, like, maybe they, like, when you're drunk, people don't realize, but they talk a lot louder.
Well, yeah, there's definitely that, but I come from an Italian family, so talking loud is kind of normal.
Well, what I noticed about you, which, I mean, me and you were good friends growing up. There was a long time that me and you didn't really speak, but whenever you did come back around, like, you're one of them people that I'm honestly, like, glad you're in my life, but it's not too often that you see people on or had to go down the same road as you to completely turn their life around to be the person that you are today. Like, I think you should be one of the proudest friends that I do have. I mean, you what you have now is great. You know what I mean?
Oh.
At least in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. If you would have told me, what, like 10, like 10, like 12 years ago, that right now I would have like what I do, there was no way. I mean, honestly, for a while I didn't think I was going to make it out of my 20s.
There was a point where I thought I'd never see you again, not because you like an accident or an overdose or anything, but just because you were a different person. Like, there was a point in time where I was like, well, he was my friend. I'll probably never see him again now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was into some heavy shit, and you pretty much only hang out with people that are into that same scene as you. I mean, partly it's like embarrassing, and it's just, you don't want to hang out with a bunch of people who are doing dope. Like, it's not too much fun to be in a room where everyone's nodding off, or even with other things. I mean, I don't know. I kind of had another. I guess I always had like my foot in a whole bunch of different doors, kind of, like just different like groups, and some of the groups weren't really compatible with any others. So yeah, whenever I was, into that scene, that's just kind of where I stayed for a while, and then I'd kind of, pull my head out of my ass for a little bit. Usually a very brief period, then it was like back into a different one. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those deals where, you're around people who are doing what you're doing, and luckily for you guys, you weren't doing what I was doing. So, I was at different places.
Now I see you as someone, because I didn't really know, I wasn't with you around those times when the lows of the lows, but as long as I've known you, you seem to have the same demeanor, the same sort of mood, even keel. Like, you've always been very even keel. I've never seen many extremes in your emotions. You're always pretty laid back. Just,
do you ever rage?
Yeah. I've been known to rage. I've kind of always had a really bad temper. It was way worse whenever I was younger, and like I'm a lot better with it now. Like, there's just some certain things I can do that kind of help center me. One thing I know for sure is, like, I need to keep my mouth shut, because when I get angry, I get irrational and I say stupid shit, and it's like one of my biggest things. Like I have to just cool down, and it's like one of the things my wife did, took her forever to realize that, because when we'd be arguing, she would want to talk her way through it, and I'd be like, hey, I just give me some time. I need to chill. Let me collect my thoughts.
Before you say something,
yeah, that
it's
you
gonna
can't
hurt somebody's
that you
feelings.
can't like take back, and then lo and behold, in school she finds out, hey, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to calm down and get like rational again, and then go back into whatever was getting you worked up. So like that's one thing I try to do. I don't know. Sometimes people just really annoy me, and like it's one of those things where like it starts really small, but it just turns into, it's like that snowball rolling downhill, and it gets huge, and then next thing I know, like my stomach's like doing somersaults just because like I just can't believe how these people make it through life.
Oh yeah.
So
oh yeah.
I mean, it's like I do try to. I for the most part I try to stay centered, but yeah, my moods definitely swing.
Even on the other extreme though, even when I think you're having the best time in the world, like at festivals and stuff, you're still pretty calm and collected. I mean, you might be playing some drums on your stomach. That's about as wild as I've seen you.
Well, marijuana has a lot to do with.
That's true.
Has a lot to do with that.
We'll keep you even keel. Now, I've never seen you I've never actually seen you eat a sandwich, so maybe you go crazy, get in a great mood when you do that. But I do know that you love sandwiches. You take them for lunch. Is it every day?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I love sandwiches. It's just I'm a creature of habit,
Okay.
and it's a very convenient thing for me to do for lunch. I don't really. I eat basically the same thing every day. The only difference is the type of sandwich.
See, I'm like that too. Is that normal, you think? Or do you think there's something weird about that? Like, I'm the same way.
Well,
I can eat the same thing every day for lunch for the rest of my life. It doesn't have to be pleasurable. It
Yeah.
just has to be
It's just a means to an end. It shuts my stomach up,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have to think about being hungry. Yeah, it's like, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or a salami and cheese sandwich.
Oh, I was gonna say that. So it's not even like a real sandwich.
No, like I don't go
peanut butter
crazy.
and jelly.
Yeah, like PB&J, I do that like Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and Wednesdays and Fridays I live it up a little, and I have a salami and cheese.
Salami and cheese.
And then
Do you put potato chips on your sandwich?
no,
No, we're adults, Andrew.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, you're not. Nope, no chips on the sandwich. But I like the sandwich too. I don't really eat them anymore, but like you said, I'm a creature of habit as well, and I'll have the same thing every day. But
it's just easy.
you ever go outside the box?
Every once in a while, people at my job, they go out every day for lunch. I don't know how.
That blows my
Where?
mind.
Yeah, I don't know how
Where do they
afford it.
go?
Oh, they go all over. Or they'll have places delivered. They have
I was gonna
stuff
say,
delivered a lot.
Because where you work is kind of in like
In the middle of
nowhere.
nowhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not in the middle, but I mean, like, you got a decent ride. So they do a lot of, like, the shit on Route 30. Or, like,
That's still
Sheetz.
a good hike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, screw that. The one time I lost a bet, so I had to buy somebody lunch at Yummy Palace. So obviously I ate at Yummy Palace as well. But no, I mean, it's just the amount of money.
What was this wager?
Well, all right. So like my coworkers swore a lot, and I was known to just randomly sing. Like whenever I started, like at my last job, I was
Yes, you have a voice like an angel. We know.
So I was the only person in my last place in my position, so I was by myself all day. So I was kind of happy to be in a group atmosphere. So yeah, like I was a little goofy, I guess. And I would sing like a good bit, and it usually wasn't even songs. I would just sing about what was going on, and I guess it irritated them. And I was like, well, hey, did you swear all day? So like, what the hell? Like, how are you going to talk about me singing? So we just decided to be like, let's do a bet and see who can go the longest. The winner, got a free lunch, and we actually did it one time, and he only went, I don't even think it was 5 minutes, and he swore, and it was over. I'm like, no, let's do it again. And yeah, I got to lunch, and I said, like, it's lunchtime. It's something stupid like that, and everybody said, hey, you lost, you sang. And that was it. I had to buy lunch at Yummy Palace.
I'm the same way. Whenever I'm at work, I think I'm the only one in the shop that doesn't leave
That's just
for.
the way people at my work do the same. And there's even a cafeteria now where you can get like prepared food, and people get that every day. And to me, that's just like, well, there just
Look at that
goes like,
money.
yeah, that's an hour you just worked.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna eat lunch for
Uh-huh.
it? No, hell no. Like, to me, it's not enjoyable enough to spend that much money on it. You know, like they'll spend like $8 a day.
Yeah, $8 a day, like
like,
5 days a week. It's
no
crazy.
way. No thanks.
My break time is the only time I get to sit down. So I like to sit down and just relax.
Yeah,
That driving 2 miles down the road
hell
to
with
get
that.
a shit food out of a gas station, no. I'd rather not eat.
Now, the salami sandwich historically is not a very healthy sandwich.
Yeah, I know.
But you seem to definitely have the metabolism of a 13-year-old boy. You've always
Or girl.
or girl. Let's be PC. You've always seemed to be very trim. I've never remembered a time you even having like a gut, not even a beer gut. Now, do you account that to metabolism, or do you actually, in secret, do you eat very well?
You bulimic?
Well,
Yeah,
I
maybe
can
you have a
honestly say I'm
problem.
not bulimic. I have a crazy fast metabolism, and I mean I don't eat great by any stretch, but like I'd say we eat pretty well. Like I hardly ever have fast food. We don't go out to eat a lot, and the food that we make at the house is generally pretty healthy. And like
Don't drink soda, right?
hardly ever.
Okay, I know that's a big one for.
Yeah,
some
it's just
people.
that's a lot of what they call them, empty calories. So I mean, I guess I'm lucky kind of in the aspect with like my metabolism, and that I just don't. I mean, for me, a lot of times I just eat to shut my stomach up, so it stops telling me that it's hungry. So I don't know. I'm kind of lucky in that aspect. Kind of to the point though, where it's like I know everybody complains about themselves, but it's like I felt that I was too skinny for the longest time.
You're pretty skinny.
Even now, like I'm not thrilled about it, but whatever. I'm not going to put on any weight until I'm probably like 50, and then it's just going to all appear one night in like a beer gut.
I would wait to see the day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming. But we're getting close to wrapping it up here. Anything you want to get to? Or do you want to get to the game?
Oh, yeah. You got a game. Let's do
That's
the
the
game.
last thing I got.
Okay.
All right.
Do I get to play this one?
Yeah, you can play this one, sure. All right, Hank. Now you're into the jam band scene, and probably more well versed in it than anyone I know, particularly at least. So what we got here is a list. Some of these are actual jam bands, and some of them are just straight up made up.
Okay.
And you need to tell me if it's made up or if it's a jam band.
All right.
Now bear with me because some of these were part of a Wikipedia list of jam bands, so they might not really be a jam band. They may be more of like a rock band or like an electronic festival type band. So
Ooh,
I might have to take some guesses. But
Yeah.
you can play this one also, Andrew. See if you can stump the maestro, the jam band maestro here. First, band or not a band? Jam band or not jam band? Beanland. We'll go to Andrew first.
What's it called? Beanland?
Beanland.
That's a jam band.
Hank?
I'm gonna say no.
You're up, Andy. Woo!
We're gonna have to look some of these up.
Oh, they're all looked up. Oh, you mean like
I'm just
investigate.
curious.
Okay.
Yeah. Beanland.
Okay.
All right.
Number 2. Aquarium. Andrew.
That's made up.
No, that's real.
That is real.
Son of a bitch.
You said made up, Hank, right?
No, I said that was real. For aquarium?
Aquarium.
Yeah, that was real.
No, that's made up.
Wow, wow.
Right? I mean, it's 2-0.
Yeah, see?
Aquarius. Isn't that
Aquarius.
a 60s or 70s group?
Sorry, no,
Oh, I'm
Aqueous.
thinking of the song of
Okay.
something of
Yeah,
Aquarius.
look at that.
You got off the commanding lead here on the maestro, Hank. All right.
You want to make a bet?
No,
Yummy
not now.
Palace bet?
Yummy Powers.
I'll take the Yummy Palace bet. How
Is
many
that-
questions are there?
10.
10?
No. 20.
20? Okay,
20,
I'll
holy
take.
shit.
Yeah, I'll take the Yummy Palace bet.
Oh, I'm fucked.
The next, band or not a band? Yummy Palace. No. Monkfish. Andrew.
That's made up.
Yeah.
That
Made up.
is indeed made up. So that's a wash. Okay.
Did you make these up? The ones that are made up?
Yeah. What do you think? I looked up
Oh,
fake
I-
jam bands? Assembly of Dust. Andrew.
That sounds like a real jam band.
Yeah, it's real.
It is. You might not get a chance here, Hank.
I might be buying some rummy Paris.
Did you ever see how they say or spell out Yingling at
Duh.
Yummy Pals?
Yingling.
Yingling.
That's the one over by Bob Evans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I did see that. I remember laughing
They
at
have
that.
great sushi.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Jam band or
that's-
not
Okay.
jam band? Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's a plug for Yummy Pals.
Yeah.
Yummy
Yeah, go to Yummy
Palace.
Palace. Eat their sushi.
Jam band or not jam band? Particle.
I'm gonna say that's made up.
No, it's real.
That is real. All right.
I've seen members of that band. Never the band, but I've seen members.
Okay. Jam band or not jam band? The Big Woo.
That's made up.
That is real.
That is real.
Is it tied up?
Yep. All right. All right. Pentatonic Prism.
I'm gonna say made up. Not a jam band.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's real, but I think it's so weird. I don't know if you would make it up.
I think it sounds made up.
But
I think
it's
he
made
put a
up.
lot of thought
Yeah,
into
that's
that
made
one.
up.
That's made up. All right. Algae Association. Jam band.
I'm trying
Or
to
not
read
jam
it off
band?
here.
See, you can't, that's what I ran into with with Charlie Chestnut.
I'm
He
not-
was able to read me.
I'm not even looking at the face.
Yeah, you
I'm
should.
playing-
What was the name
playing
again?
a straight game.
Algae Association.
That's a jam band.
That doesn't sound real to me.
Not a jam band. It's a John band. All right.
Was a jam band or John band?
Jam band or John band. Pseudopod.
That's a jam band.
Look at the look of
No,
disgust.
I don't think it is.
That is indeed a jam band.
Okay.
I listened to them on the way here.
Damn it, that's who that was.
Okay. Jam band or John band. The Boozy Bandits.
That's a John band.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's a John band.
Yeah, that's straight up John.
Okay. The Egg.
That's a jam band.
No,
That's a jam band.
the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Andy's back
Back
in the
on
lead.
top.
I better straighten up here.
It's getting
That
down
Yummy
there.
Palace is gonna be so good.
It is. Damn it.
All right. Jam band or John band. Braxton County Strings.
I want to say yes, but I'm gonna say you put a lot of thought into that one. I'm gonna say John band.
Jam band.
John band.
John band.
Whew.
John's putting too much thought into this. I'm not giving him enough credit in his names.
That's right. Jam band or John band. 10-ton chicken.
I'm gonna say it's a jam band.
Yeah, I'm jam band on that one.
That's a jam band. Have you heard of them?
No.
Have you heard of any of these?
Particle in the Big Woo.
Pseudopod.
No.
The Big Woo.
I've
You
heard
said
of
you
the
heard of
Big
them?
Woo. I don't know.
Assembly of Dust.
And that's one of those names I've seen on flyers. I don't know anything about them.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. I know they are. It's just some of these may be just.
Yeah,
like-
they're just
like
bands.
electronica bands.
Yeah.
you know? I don't know. According to Wikipedia, they are jam band. All right. Well, we're 10-ton chicken. Okay. Jam band or John band. Broke down trolley.
It's a jam band.
John band.
That's a John band.
How many left?
Running out of questions here. We got 6 left.
Okay, down by 1. I got time here.
Jam band or John band. Lettuce.
John band.
I have seen them. That's a jam band.
Oh, yummy Paris. You might be splitting the bill here. Okay. Baked brains. Jam band or John band.
That is a John band.
I think that's a John band.
That's a John band. That one's. I could have got that one. All right. The Tentacles.
That's a jam band.
Jam band.
That's not a John.
That's a John band.
That's a John.
That sounded pretty
That was your
jammy.
chance to pull ahead, Hank. All right. 3 left.
Uh-oh.
Moon Taxi.
That's a jam band.
Jam band.
That's his jam band. All right. Amphibian.
Jam band.
Yeah, jam
Yeah.
band.
I'm going to have to come up with a tiebreaker here. There's one
Tiebreaker.
left.
Or we could just call it even.
All right. The Gloomy Bedbugs.
What was the last one? Last one was a jam band.
Amphibian was a jam band.
What's the name of this one?
The Gloomy Bedbugs.
I'm gonna say jam band.
I gotta get a John band.
That's John Band.
Good game.
I put
That
that, one
was a good
last
game.
because it was
Yeah.
such a joke. But hey.
It
performed-
sounded so dumb. I was like, it's probably
Wow,
a jam
some of these
band.
I couldn't believe were jam bands.
I was neck and neck.
Beanland?
Yeah, Beanland. That's
The
ridiculous.
Egg? Some of them are pretty wild. Moon Taxi. I had to double check, make sure I didn't make that up. But you said you've seen Lettuce?
Yes,
And how are they?
they are awesome.
Huh.
That is a very fun show. That's like a New York funk. Like that's a party.
Mhm.
That's a good time.
Now how are the Braxton County Strings?
Probably my favorite string band.
And the Tentacles?
The Tentacles are they're really underrated. To
And
tell you the truth.
Monkfish? Monkfish is
Uh,
a great time.
What's the definition of a jam band?
It's not. It's more of an opinion than a definition. Pretty much where they just go into uncharted waters. You know, where like what you see at the concert is not what you hear on the radio. Like there's sections of the song that have never really been written, so to speak. You know, it's just kind of
Just freestyle.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's why this list came up with so many different genres, because it's not like a genre as much as it is a...
It's like an
I don't know.
attitude almost.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of people consider Blind Melon a jam band, but they're more of just a rock band.
Yeah,
But-
they're an amazing band, but yeah, I wouldn't really call them a jam band.
Right. Well, about to get close to wrapping it up here. Anything else from anyone?
If you like what we're doing, you want to support, check us out on YouTube.
YouTube. Just search Blue
Blue
Rooster
Rooster.
Podcast and subscribe.
Look for that
Like
blue
us,
cock.
subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. We'll post up the videos on there. And
Thanks
yeah,
for
comment
thanks for
if you
coming.
have any questions or anything. You can email us or message us on Facebook. We both get them. And
Thanks for joining us, Hank. And you will be back for sure with
All right.
more topics. The second time around, we like to go with more freeform and not so much the background.
Okay.
So you be ready, Hank.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. And like Andrew always says,
Love you too. Bye.